All right. Hey, what's going on, you guys? So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Mike Felix. I do a lot of work with entrepreneurs at the intersection of marketing, sales, and technology. And one of the biggest things that's been confusing the hell out of a lot of people is how to leverage AI to be able to quickly deploy things like landing pages and then capture that information and store it somewhere. Um, Claude is amazing. ChatGPT is amazing, but there's always these little things that can inhibit someone from like finishing it out. So I want to show you how to leverage a tool like Claude to very quickly generate a landing page. And then within a landing page, of course, you have some type of call to action. Be able to get someone to say, hey, here's my information, and then store that information somewhere. All right. For this example, I'm going to say that I'll say that I have like a cleaning service or something. All right. And I'll make it so that the call to action is for someone to get a free assessment. All right. So let's just say I own a cleaning service where I specialize in cleaning homes where the family or the residents where there may be children uh, who live in the residence. I don't know. I'm freestyling this here. um, the reason I'm making it a little bit tailored here is because I don't want it to be too generic. All right. Like when you're running campaigns and you're trying to get somebody to opt into a landing page, oftentimes like there has to be something captivating. If you're targeting an audience of people who may have kids, and the reason why they're going to hire a cleaning service is because they're like, oh my gosh, this is just too much for me. When you start to embed those little things into your messaging, the ads perform better, and people have a higher likelihood of opting in or giving you their information. So being a cleaning service is one thing. Being a cleaning service that specializes in homes with children, that's another. Okay. So I'm just adding in a little bit of seasoning into this particular prompt. Again, I'm freestyling here. Um, and also too, Claude will get very creative with regards to what it's going to put on my landing page. All right. So I own a cleaning service where or cleaning business where I specialize in cleaning homes where there may be children who live in the residence. I'd like for you to create a captivating landing page to get the visitor to opt in to a free home assessment. All right. So, you have to give them something, right? Free home assessment. Once someone lets you into their home, oftentimes they will, you have to mess it up for them not to hire you, right? Um, I'd like to cap, I'd like to capture their name, email, and phone number. And after they submit their information, I'd like to redirect the page to my Calendly link. I'm just adding this in here primarily because, again, it's one thing to just get their information. It's another to like redirect them to a booking page. You can tell this thing to do whatever you want. All right. So I'm adding in a little bit of seasoning into this prompt. I'd also like to capture their information or store their submissions into a Google Sheet. What I'll do, if you are interested in this, what I could do is I could sit for a little bit longer and I could provide you with a more tailored prompt. So somewhere on this page, I'll give you the opportunity to hit me up directly, and then I can probably give you a little bit more tailored, prompt here for your particular circumstance. All right. So I own a cleaning business where I specialize in cleaning homes where there may be children who live in the residence. I'd like for you to create a captivating landing page to get the visitor to opt into for a free home assessment. I'd like to capture their name, email, and phone number. And after they submit their information, I'd like to redirect the page to my I'd like to redirect to my Calendly link. I'd also like to store their submissions into a Google Sheet. Now, here's the thing, right? If you can provide it more details, Because I'm being a little generic here, it's going to get creative with everything that it puts out there. It might create a business name from me. It's going to create a headline. It's going to do all of this stuff for me. Okay. So once I hit submit here, it's gonna start to create this landing page. I'm gonna pause the video just so that you don't have to wait through it, because of course, whenever you do this with Claude, it's gonna start to do all the thinking and it's architecting and doing all this other stuff. All right. So I'm gonna pause it here and then I'll come back as soon as it starts to actually render the landing page. So really quickly, one of the cool things that Claude does is sometimes it will sort of reiterate what it's doing. So it did go through and it said, I'm going to build you a fully featured designed a landing page with a Google Sheets integration. Let me create both the landing page and the Google Apps script needed to capture those submissions. All right. So there's a couple things that we have to do here to make sure that those submissions go into your Google Sheet. All right. All right, sweet. So I think that it's close to the end here. It's now creating the Google Apps script. All right, and again, I'll show you what that actually is here in a moment. So here is our landing page. Let's scroll down here and let's actually take a look at the landing page. So I'm going to open it in Chrome. All right. So again, it got it got creative, right? Child safe certified cleaning, right? A spotless home safe enough for your little ones. I mean, look at how tailored it is to what I prompted it. Again, I was really generic. All right. We specialize in deep cleaning. I'm not going to go through all of this. What I want you to look at is the fact that this landing page was fully designed just simply from a prompt. Okay. It did focus, again, you see how it focused on families, child safe products, trusted by local families, flexible scheduling, family, like it really took that whole, home with children thing seriously. All right. So I have my landing page design. Now, within the prompt here, it does give you some additional instructions. It's going to tell you what to do. I'm going to sort of glaze through it a little bit just because I have some experience here. So the first thing that it gave me was the HTML file. This is what is rendering the actual web page. This is how it looks and all that. The second thing that it does is it gives you an app script that you're going to be loading into a Google Sheet. So it's going to tell you go to script.google, create a new project, paste everything from Google Apps into it, and then we're going to deploy it. All right. Then we're going to open the landing page, and we're going to paste a URL into the actual HTML. All right. So one thing that I'm going to deviate from this a little bit because I think that there's a slightly easy there's a step here that might um there's a step here that we could probably take out. All right, but we're going to jump over to we're going to look at the Google App Script. All right. So this is the Google App Script right here that we're going to be putting into our Google Sheet. So let's jump over to the Google Sheet here. Here's a blank Google Sheet. I'm going to name this just responses cleaning. All right. Now within a Google Sheet, you have the ability to come to extensions, and there's something known as apps script. All right. So once you click this provides you with the ability to deploy code on the back end of a Google Sheet. All right. So I'm going to delete everything else that's here. I'm not going to start from scratch here. I'm going to come back to Claude, and all of this Google app script here, I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to copy this into this apps script here. All right. So all of the code is brought directly into this script here. All right. Now, in order for this to actually run, what you have to do is do something known as deploy. All right. So we have to say this is a new deployment. So whenever you're doing a new deployment, you're going to select what type it is. It's just a very simple web app, and we're just going to name it cleaning. I don't know. You can name it anything. Whenever you're having it edit a sheet, you do want anyone to edit it. That doesn't mean that it's public. It's just part of it provides you with the ability to give this website access to this Google Sheet. When we hit deploy, it's probably going to want to authenticate. Let me see. It might say authenticate with this sheet or with this account. Let me see. Yeah, authorize. So we're going to authorize this web app. Again, very simple. All you're doing is just logging in again here. That's it. And then once it finishes here, we now have our web app deployment, which is going to start storing information into the Google Sheet. Now, here's one thing, right? This URL here, okay, and this is the step I'm going to say we can probably skip. This URL here, Claude is telling us, well, take that URL and go into the HTML to replace it in this area here. What I want to do is I want Claude to do it, right? So I'm going to say, hey, here's the web app code. Here is the Google script code. Replace it in the HTML and provide me with the new file. All right. So because I don't want to have to do that myself. It looks like the Google URL didn't come through. Oh shoot, sorry. I forgot to paste it. Here's the URL. All right. Replace the placeholder with the real one. Running the command. And now what it's going to do, done. Your Google App Script is now live. So again, I don't have to go into the HTML and do that. It did it already. There was a dependence on doing the sheet in order for that. So they just give you a placeholder. All right. So now if I open this in my browser here, if I come here and I submit my information, let's just say Mike Felix, m.d.felix@gmail.com, 407-111-1212 or 45, whatever. I'm going to hit book free assessment. So two things should happen here. Okay. First thing that should happen here is it should redirect me to Calendly. All right. Because I told it to do that. So again, from a standpoint of generating leads, you want to know who they are, and then you want to create that little bit of that option for them to go through and look at their calendar and say, when am I available? You don't want to try to do that up front. Many people do that. I think it's a mistake. I've seen it cause a lot of friction. The second thing that this should have done was it should have populated this this sheet here, which it did not. Now here's why. Here's why. I know exactly why. So inside of the script here, one thing that I also did forget to do, I didn't change the sheet name to leads. Okay. So let me come in here. I'm going to rename this to leads. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Maybe, oh, what it did, it created it. Eek. I'm going to keep it as sheet one. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. What I disregard that part. Okay. What it did, it created that sheet called leads. And as you can see, the information that was submitted in the form, it's right here. Right. So I put my name, and I put a fake phone number. All right. So we're good here. So again, this checks all the boxes. It looks great. If you want to change the colors, you tell Claude, change the colors to this. These are my brand colors. Here's my logo. Here's the name of my business, and it'll swap everything out. Now, if you want to add additional fields, you can. I typically advise against it so that it doesn't, people don't feel as though it's daunting. When you input your information, I made it redirect. You don't have to, but I wanted this information to go directly into the spreadsheet. So now imagine deploying this, and now you're getting all of these leads coming in because they see something captivated and you made it really easy. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people also get confused on. This file is on my system. All right, this file is on my system, so that we don't want that. We want the file to be hosted somewhere where everybody can access it. All right, so let's do that right now. Before what I recommended was Netlify. I saw a comment when all of you were saying leads. I saw a comment that said, I really like to use Cloudflare instead of Netlify. And I was like, you're right. Because Netlify has these credits and it gets a little annoying, but Cloudflare enables you to just quickly deploy something, and you don't have to worry about credits and all that. And you could do some redirects to a domain name if you want directly inside of Cloudflare. So I'm gonna skip a couple steps here. I'm jumping right to what's called Cloudflare pages. This is where you are able to deploy a new application. All right. So this is where all you're doing here is you're just taking that HTML and all you're doing is just dragging it here. Okay. So it is considered a static file. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump onto, well, actually, you know what? Before I do that, I forgot to save my landing page. Here's my landing page here. my landing page code. I want to download this to my computer, and I'm going to save it to my computer, and I'm going to rename it to index.html. All right. I did this a little while ago, and so I'm just kind of redoing it. I had to try to script this video a little bit. So I just downloaded this file to my computer, and again, I downloaded it as the file index.html. All right, it's going to be very important. Keep it as index.html. So inside of Cloudflare, all we're doing here is we are now going to that folder here, and all we're going to do is just drag this file directly into Cloudflare. All right, we're gonna I'm not gonna modify this because we can do this later. I'm just gonna call this testing 1, 2, 3, whatever. Cleaning, testing. I don't know, whatever. Deploy. All right. So again, what we're doing here, the aim here is to take what we built, what Claude built, we connected it to Google, we made it redirect to Calendly, and we want this to be accessible by everyone. So what this did, it took all that code and it deployed it to this URL here. So now if I click on this link, it's going to now pull up this website. So now your website is fully deployed on the web. All right. Now, again, there are other ways to do this. You can upload this to GoDaddy. You can upload this to Hostinger. You can upload this to Bluehost. Now, you can do all of that. This is just a little bit quicker. All right. The other thing with this is if you want to connect this to like a custom domain, you can. So if you have if you have a main website and you want to make this like a landing page, like with me, I have MikeFelix.com, amplifiedos.com. I could add a custom domain to say landing page dot or landing.amplifiedos.com, landing.mikefelix.com. So you can make this whatever you want. It's just this weird URL right now because we're just testing this out. But as of right now, we did everything that we needed to with this deployment. Okay. We came in, we got that information from Claude. We downloaded the file, we connected it with Google. Again, we did a redirect, and now it is fully published to the web. If I typed in anything here, Jane Smith is interested, Jane at amplifiedos.com. Jane is interested in my services. Book my free assessment. Again, I'm submitting this. Two things should happen here. It's going to redirect for Jane to now go through the process to schedule, right? Again, even if she doesn't schedule, I still have her information. And over here in responses, Jane's information is now in a populated Google Sheet. All right. I hope this was valuable to you. This is again, it's something that you could use this to very quickly deploy a landing page. If you found this valuable, somewhere around here, there's a link. There's a link for you to say, hey, Mike, I might need some additional help with this. Or hey, Mike, I want to see if you could review this landing page. Hey, Mike, I'm getting tripped up. Use that button to get in direct contact with me. Other thing too, if you have any questions, as always, just shoot me a quick message on social media and I'll try to get some answers to you. I love getting these answers out because for one, I think that now that AI is really empowering a lot of us to do more. I don't want any of us or anyone that I'm connected to, I don't want any of us to slow down because of it. Because a lot of people that I'm speaking with, they're getting so overwhelmed with AI that they're just like, oh, well, I know it's something, but I can't do anything with it. I want you to be able to do as much as you can with it. And so this is one area where you can at least leverage it to create assets, to get new leads, connect with folks, and be able to build your business. All right. If you have any questions, hit me up. Peace.